last 24 hours. Powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by The Click.
Good morning, my friends. Today is Friday, Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Vayeshev, Chuf Beis Kislev, Tufshin Pei Vov, and it's December 12th, 2025. My name is Gershy Schwarcz, and I'm your host, On Edge. From Zelensky feeling strong again by capturing back territory from Russia, seized territory from Russia, Putin meeting with Turkish and Iranian officials, and flooding in Israel, to the heartbreaking moment the hostages lit candles, Chanuka candles, right before they were murdered, and Trump struggling to settle world wars. What an upside-down world. Now, to enter the raffle for a full pen pal set, the educational books like I spoke about all week, you can still enter the raffle. The raffle is taking place, the goyrel is taking place this coming Sunday, and the winner will be announced Monday. Ezra Shem is Buruch. Now, pen pal is this amazing book collection with this special device, a pen that the kid can point on to the characters of the books or where the story is written. It tells you the story, it tells the kid the story in the most fun and interactive way, and also plays games with them. They have special activity books with games for all sizes, ages, and stages. Baby age to bar mitzvah age, even some adults might find it useful. You can always call 845-671-1775, press number 5 to leave your name and phone number very clearly, and say PayPal on Edge. You can still enter the goyrel this Erev Chanukah. Okay, now, let's continue to the news, shall we? Russian President Vladimir Putin met with Turkish and Iranian officials today, leaders, for high-stake discussions. Turkish President Erdogan reportedly urged Putin to accept a limited ceasefire on energy infrastructure and ports. Separately, Putin met with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian also in Turkey to talk about gas and electricity cooperation. The Iranian leader thanked Putin for standing by Tehran on the international stage. Russia is clearly working to solidify its alliances in the region. Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke by phone with Maduro yesterday as well, and according to the Kremlin, expressed solidarity with the Venezuelan people. President Donald J. Trump ordered more sanctions on the Venezuelan oil. Yesterday we reported him, as you remember, that the U.S. seized a tanker linked to Venezuela and sent more U.S. warships to the Caribbean. The American admiral in charge of the U.S. forces involved in the oil tanker seizure is now stepping down from his post. The United States is preparing to seize more tankers off Venezuela's coast. Now, Maduro obviously thinks this is pure theft, piracy, which what he thinks is America's doing for its own benefit, just to steal the oil, the expensive oil, the only income, I guess. Fighting between Thailand and Cambodia has now gone on for 5 straight days, with about 20 people killed. The Thai Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul, says he spoke by phone with the United States President Donald J. Trump last night to restore the ceasefire that Trump helped broker in October. Ukrainian forces say they had retaken parts of the northeastern town of Kupiansk. Kupiansk is a town northeast of Ukraine that Russia has seized and had encircled Russian troops. They basically captured them. President Volodymyr Zelensky was proud about it. He visited the area, took a picture of himself, and praised the operation, saying that it strengthened Ukraine and saluted them, gave them medals, made a whole parade there, and a moment of silence for the soldiers that were killed on the front lines, obviously. A hidden tunnel was found in a forest near the border fence of Poland. Polish border guards say more than 180 migrants have already used it to cross from Belarus illegally. Polish leaders say this is already the 4th such a tunnel found this year. They say Belarus is supported by Russia, and they are using migrant flows as a weapon to pressure the European Union. Speaking of tunnels, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is planning to travel to Cairo to sign a multi-billion-dollar agreement to supply natural gas to Egypt. This was enforced and pushed by the American government, obviously, that they should do this. Another monster from the October 7th, speaking of tunnels, right, October 7th attack, has been removed from the world. The IDF has successfully eliminated Hamas terror leader Mohammed Mansour. He was directly involved in the massacre of our people. The army made it very clear. One by one, these terrorists are being wiped off the face of the earth. The IDF has released a heartbreaking new video. Now listen to this.
שהחיינו וקיימנו יגיענו לזמן הזה לתכין מטבע מצרה אגמור בשיר מזמור חנוכת המזבח אגמור בשיר מזמור חנוכת המזבח.
Footage found recently in Gaza shows Gershy Poland and 5 others making Chanuka, celebrating Chanuka, and they even said it themselves that it's Maragesh. One of them says the Chanukah's great holiday. They said the Brucha, they sang Moez Tzir together there, Hanas Haluli, in the depth, in the darkness of the tunnel. Mamish like the Nazis did to us back at our grandfathers. In the clip, Hirsch compares his suffering to the Jews of the Holocaust, holding on to faith in darkness. The video was released to the public last night, reminding the world of the light these souls try to keep alive in the darkness. Okay. Fatal storm hits Israel. A man froze to death in Netanya, sadly, and a 19-year-old is still missing as Storm Byron causes severe flooding across Israel. Rescue teams saved 14 people trapped in their cars in Yavne. In Rishon LeZion, a falling tree injured 2 students. Search crews are currently looking for the missing teenager from Bnei Brak. Heavy rains and dangerous cold air are also expected to continue through the night. Well, that happened yesterday and maybe today as well, they're saying. Let's hope that our brothers and sisters in Israel are safe. Next, for the first time in decades, a Jewish organization has been granted an official license to operate inside Syria. The new government in Damascus issued the permit on Wednesday to the Jewish Heritage in Syria. It's called the Jewish Heritage in Syria Foundation. This group plans to reclaim Jewish properties like shuls, synagogues that were confiscated by the old Assad regime. Minister Hind Kabawit, a woman, a new minister, said, she's opposition minister, obviously the one that overthrew the government, that will helping overthrow the government, said that the new government does not discriminate and wants to help all Syrians build a new country. This is a massive shift for the region, just 1 year after the regime fell. The U.S. Navy and the Israeli military held a joint training exercise yesterday. Forces from both nations worked side by side to sharpen their combat readiness. This drill focuses on defending Israel's coastline and coordinating strikes against potential threats, a strong message to the entire Middle East, criticizing their alliances. Indiana's Republican, back in America, led Senate. The Republican-led Senate rejected the redrawn congressional map yesterday, even after months of pressure from President Donald J. Trump. Trump has been urging Republicans nationwide to redraw the congressional map to help the party maintain its majority in the House of Representatives this upcoming election now, the midterms. Texas, Missouri, Ohio, and North Carolina went along, but it looks like Indiana did not. The U.S. Senate voted no on 2 different health care plans yesterday. This happened just as a short time before important Obamacare benefits are set to expire. One is a Democrat bill which is supposed to extend the current Affordable Care Act from Obama premium subsidies for 3 more years. The other is a Republican bill that would replace the premiums with special health savings payments. The deadline is for December 31st, which is in a few days, and if the vote isn't passed, the federal savings will expire and premiums will go up. President Donald J. Trump has announced a pardon for Tina Peters, a former Colorado County clerk who is serving a 9-year sentence for breaching voting machines after the 2020 election. Trump says she is a patriot who tried to expose...
Iran was a country that was feared by everybody. Now it's a country that's been very much downgraded.
Can only pardon federal crimes. This move is mainly symbolic and does not free her from her state prison sentence. Interesting. President Donald J. Trump also signed a new executive order about who controls the rules for artificial intelligence, AI. The order would block individual states from making their own regulations on AI companies. Instead, Trump wants only the federal government in Washington to set the rules for how AI firms operate and what standards they must follow. Now, who remembers here Kilma Abrego Garcia? Kilma Abrego Garcia, he was deported by ICE and sent to prison in El Salvador by mistake, they say. A federal judge ordered ICE to release him back home to Maryland while he waits for his asylum case ruling. Charlie Kirk's killer, a 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, appeared in Utah courtroom in person for the first time yesterday. The hearing focused on how much media access will be allowed and the judge he will allow on cameras Well, the verdict was that this will take place live in court. The high-profile killing of the United Healthcare CEO is also in the news now because the 911 call, the 911 call, and footage of Luigi Mangioni's arrest was made public. A new study was published about how COVID vaccine affects the heart, especially in younger men. Researchers at Stanford Medicine say they have found a specific immune reaction that can, in rare cases, inflame heart muscle tissue shortly after vaccination. Let's talk about the UK. Chaos at the BBC. Pro-Palestinian mobs swarmed the BBC headquarters in London yesterday. Demonstrators blocked entrances and screamed that the network is pro-Israel. They accused the broadcaster of ignoring suffering in Gaza and demanding it change its coverage. This comes as a shock to many of us who have felt for years that the BBC is actually biased against Israel. Speaking of, massive anti-draft protests in London happened. The Atzeres Machua in London, the English Hasidic Jews, over 2,000 of them, Orthodox Jews, took the streets of London to protest against the IDF draft. Men from Stamford Hill community gathered right outside the Israeli embassy in Kensington. A Cathay passenger was arrested after trying to open the door mid-flight. Well, not long ago, for those of you who remember, there was such a story. From Boston to Hong Kong, he was arrested. Before we continue, a quick word from our sponsors. Reb David Wanunu. Reb David Wanunu is here for you if you need help with your business, okay? Guiding, consulting, business coaching. Putting your business back on track to making money. 845-414-8100. Shawarma Delight. Great place to go and buy yourself good shawarma. Tasty good shawarma. They're open every single night till 10 and 30, I think, and Thursday night till very late midnight with all the foods that you want online. Shishi. Place an order on SDA Bible store and mention on it for a free drink. Why is
There's always yes. Wait a second, I just said no. You heard me. With regular no-doc loans, things are...
Arrive Express, we all know the taxi company that we can all rely on. Arrive Express, 845-622-1111. And from Monroe, the new fleet, 845-254-1111. Protobyte for your app and web development, 347-354-1237. Now, today's holy Yortzeit, this Shabbos is the Yortzeit of the Heilige Tosche Rebbe, the son of the first Tosche Rebbe. This Shabbos, the 23rd of Kislev, Chof Gimel Kislev, marks the Yortzeit of the holy Rebbe Meilich, Rebbe Ele Meilich Lowy, Zeichet Tzadik Kudish Lucha of Tosh. He was the son of the Meshulam Feish, the son of the founder of the dynasty, the Meshulam Feish Lowy, Zeichet Tzadik Kudish Lucha, and led the community in Hungary. He passed away in 1946, leaving a legacy that is still going strong today. Baruch Hashem, I see it, my backdoor neighbor, you know. Anyway, with that, my friends, have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos. And for those who are interested, we have a Spin the Edge coming on this Sunday with Shragi Stern. He is like the Hasidic Ben Shapiro, I would call him. So I had a wonderful conversation about Putin, Russia, and interesting subjects that we don't talk about often. And you're welcome to listen to it. It's in Yiddish, so, you know, I'm sure you understand. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful Shabbos. Thank you.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by The Click.